Hey honey, it's your girl Asia J, aka Chef Honey today. And today we're gonna be making this viral spaghetti squash recipe I saw on TikTok and talking about my non-existent love life. Let's get into it. I listed the recipe and all of the ingredients down below in the description, so make sure you check that out. I'm starting with this big old yellow squash. Now I do squash, but I ain't never had the big ball kind. Speaking of big balls, child, so your girl has been single. Shit, I've only been in one relationship my whole entire life. But it was a good one. And I'm really thankful for that, because sometimes if you've never experienced like a good relationship, you may not think it exists, especially being plus size. I feel like since that relationship, it's really helped me realize that there is somebody out there that is gonna love me, like me, and really treat me right. It just may take me a while to find him, because I ain't been in one since. And that was in 2015 when I was 18. Bitch, I've been single for 10 years. I've been single for 10 years. And I literally just was talking about the fact that when men ask, like, how long have you been single? I feel like it's a little manipulation trying to happen. Like, what are you asking me that question for? Like, once I give you the answer to that question, what does that tell you? Because I feel like you're going to think I'm desperado. I feel like you're going to think I'm desperate. And that's not the case. I got my spaghetti squash split in half. And honestly, that just reminds me of these men. All they want to do is split you in half and gut you out. They don't really want shit. They don't want to sow no seeds into you. All this is seeds, regrowth. They don't want to regrow nothing. Just like the fact that I keep saying, like, I have not learned nothing from a man. The only thing I've learned from a man is how to roll backwood. And was that really a good lesson? It was, because I didn't know how to roll no backwood. But anyways, I've been single for 10 years. And after not getting in any relationships, even though, like, you know it's not you, you just can't help but to feel like it's you. It's like, damn, so you telling me nobody has recognized my worth? Nobody has felt like, damn, like, I want that girl, I see that girl, and I gotta have her in my life? Like, all y'all wanna do is hump on me? Damn, I'm more than just a hump. I mean, it's good humping, but can I get a little bit more? And I feel like these days, especially when it comes to plus size girls, these boys don't even try to like humor you with the date. I feel like a lot of men's goal is the same. They want a hokey pokey and they want to put it in and stick it all out. But I feel like for women that they feel like they have to, they'll at least humor with trying to take her out, even if the objective is the same. And of course, I know it's just not a fat thing, because this is happening to women across the spectrum. A lot of women haven't been in many relationships, let alone a good one. But for some people, you see it just constantly happening over and over and over again. It's so easy for people to recognize them and want them in their life. And when the only thing a man wants from you is between your legs, after some time, it takes a toll on you. And I'm in a space right now where I just recently started back talking to men, more so because I'm bored. And I want a little attention, so I'm letting myself get a little bit of attention. But overall, I know that I want a man. I don't want to just be doing a hokey pokey. So I feel like when you know you want more than just hokey pokey, you should not settle for just hokey pokey. I'm seasoning these up with a couple of my favorite seasonings, making sure I season them real good, because this is going to be the base of your spaghetti bowl. Spray a pan with some non-stick and cooking oil and put your spaghetti squash in the oven for about 50 minutes. Being that I know what I want, I really don't want to be just out here settling for less. And let's be real. Knowing your worth is lonely as fuck. Even now on dating apps, when I see guys and they say they just want something casual, I don't even swipe on them. I'm not in the business of auditioning and showing a man how good and how great I am and why he needs me in his life. And in that same breath, do y'all shoot your shot? I personally just don't shoot my shot. And everyone always thinks it's because of me being big. It has nothing to do with me being big. It has to do with the fact that I want to be desired. I want to be wanted. I want to be courted. I want a man to say, like, what do I have to do to get her and to keep her? But instead, these bitches are bold and they just ask for a piece of the cookie. They don't even want to humor a girl with a little $40 date. You don't even think it's worth $40? Well, dates ain't $40 no more. But with Lil P now, my date might be $40. Anyways, it's at the point where sometimes, you know, I get a little lonely. And when you're lonely, you do shit that you don't got no business doing. Like talking to men that you know are only gonna be there for the moment. I personally stopped doing the spend a night a long time ago. I probably did it maybe a couple times in college, but outside of that, ain't no spend a night. I feel like it's just too intimate. And let's be real, you don't like me like that, so I don't want to be participating in that fake love. I'd rather not have you screw me, do me all night and then wake up in the morning and know that I'm not going to talk to you or see you until the next time. And I know for some people that simply works, but for me, it's just not enough. And I'm a squirrel. I like to run up the tree and get a nut too. So I'm not even going to pretend that I can practice self-control and have somebody come over and kick it and not want to do the hokey pokey. I mean, it's been a long time. I got some pressure built up. And sometimes, of course, I find myself in spaces where I play the fool. But for me, maybe it's the areas in me. Maybe I'm just a little too logical. But it's not fun. And I feel like I'm not going to say all because, trust me, I'm not trying to coddle myself in my singleness. But I feel like these days, in order to have a man, it's a level of stupidity and ignorance is bliss that you have to practice in order to maintain the peace. And personally, that's just not peaceful enough for me. I don't want anybody around that I'm constantly worrying about looking over my shoulder. At this point, you're competing with my full peace. I have been by myself for so long that I'm also a little worried about my ability to be with somebody. I had a guy come into town, and this man is somebody who I honestly thought I would marry. And he was one of the first people to ever make me think that, bitch, maybe you are the problem. And I wouldn't say like necessarily I'm the problem, but it comes a lot with being with somebody and having somebody in your ecosystem. And while he's definitely a sweet man and a great man, honey, I don't know if I'm prepared to be around any man. I'm not ashamed enough to admit that this guy is the first guy that made me believe that I really would have love. I really would have someone that will want to be with me since my first and only relationship. And ironically, I met them both in high school and liked them both around the same time. One's older, one's younger. And I feel like both of those situations, and even now, have made me realize that sometimes you have to decipher if you really like the person or you like the idea of the person. And while during his visit, we definitely meshed well, it was really clear that that was all we were doing. We weren't really, you know, intertwining. We weren't really seeing if we would really do this. I felt like we both were walking on eggshells. I felt like I was auditioning to be a wife that a man didn't actually have in mind for me to be to him. And I say that because ultimately at the end of our trip together, he revealed to me that my habits at the time when it came to food and different things made him feel triggered in his own experience. You see, he used to be big too, and he lost a bunch of weight. You know, guys can easily just wake up one day and start losing 1,000,000 pounds. Whereas me, I've been bigger the whole time he's been knowing me. And I'm not gonna lie to you, while I could say bullying never made me want to lose weight and a man hurting my feelings never wanted me to lose weight, that's because nobody ever had enough power over me. But he did. I'm a little ashamed to admit that while he isn't the sole reason, I wanted to say fuck him. And I really got on my shit about a month later. I really woke up and I said to myself, I'm gonna prove him wrong. I think deeper than that, it was the first time ever in my life where I really thought, maybe someone won't love me in this body. Maybe someone won't love me in this size. Because while he didn't say it, you can feel when the feeling's just not there. And later, I got confirmation of that. I don't know what made me ask him this, but it was literally the day of my birthday photo shoot. And I was looking good and I was feeling beautiful. And I was getting ready to go celebrate my birthday because I knew I was having surgery a short time later. And I just told him, I said, I don't think you're attracted to me. And my fear is that I'm gonna lose this weight and I'm gonna have this surgery and you're gonna find yourself attracted to me. And while he still didn't say it, He basically said it. And he even went on to ask me, like, why would you want me to say that to you? Why would you want me to hurt you? And honestly, I felt more hurt about the fact that he never told me. He always made me feel like there was hope there. I mean, this man talked to me about marrying me, having kids with me. We even had a scuffle about me not wanting to change my last name. And none of it felt real. And that's kind of where I honestly feel like a fool. I thought because we never slept together, it was just because he wanted to respect me. He didn't want to play with my head. He understood the impact of how being sexual with someone can alter things. But not reality. He just was never physically attracted to me. I already know what you're wondering. So Asia, do you think you have to lose weight to date? Well, I can say that I haven't had much success, so I wanted to try something different. I wanted to experience what it was like to have access to more options. Let's be real, everybody doesn't like plus size girls, let alone plus size girls that are over a certain weight or don't really fit the BBW standard. And I've never been a plus size curvy girl. I've always just been a bigger apple belly girl. And I know it really sucks to conform to get the things that you want, but I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling insane, trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results and never getting them. And don't get me wrong, I don't think being smaller necessarily means that you're gonna have a superior dating life. Because let's be real, niggas ain't shit. And they're doing every girl wrong across the spectrum. But I feel like it gives you more options. It gives you access to a bigger pool, even if the pool does have a little poopery in it. With that in mind, something I absolutely had to release myself from is feeling so judgmental towards smaller girls' relationships. Meaning, I knew that they could kind of get any man they want, so I never understood why they were settling for the bullshit. For my own sanity, I had to quickly release myself from the shackles of, girl, if I was you, I'm not her. I will say, in my humble opinion, I feel like the girls that do have access to a lot of guys, especially at an early age, sometimes it can be a little harmful for them in the sense that they don't know how to be by themselves. So some people just jump relationship to relationship because they don't want to be alone. I feel like for me, because I've been forced to either be by myself or be a damn fool, I learned how to be by myself. But I can admit that one of my slight fears is that I've been by myself so long that will I be able to receive someone when they do come into my life? And not only will I be able to receive them, but will I be able to believe them? Will I be able to believe that they're genuine? After your peppers and onions have swelled down a little bit, go ahead and add the spinach to your pan. And don't forget, if you ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoning, okay? I feel like this all stems back from being younger. You know, boys not really liking you for real, or it being a joke, or being dared to go try to talk to you, or boys even thinking just because you're nice to them that you actually like them and you're trying to be with them and they wouldn't want anybody else in the school to know that. And then that leaves you like me and other vulnerable girls that fall victim to the older boys. Y'all know how them older boys make you feel. One, you feel like you're so mature because an older guy likes you. I'm absolutely disgusted by the actions of the boys that I was talking to then, or should I say young men, because they were literally over the age that I shouldn't have been talking to. And that honestly carries on for so long, even into adulthood, where you feel like you gotta be with the older guy to get something. You gotta be with the older guy to experience certain things. And he just tells you that, you know, boys your age, they don't know how to deal with a woman like you. Whole time you're not even a woman. Oh wow, this Boris and cheese literally smells so freaking good. This is my first time ever using this. Like, ooh, this literally smells delicious. And let's add some heavy whipping cream to this as well. This is damn near blow your ass back spaghetti. I almost skipped this, but you are supposed to add some sun-dried tomatoes, so I'm gonna add a few of those. It's getting creamy. I ain't had that experience in a while, child. You were getting the attention from these older boys. You knew you didn't have no business dealing with them, and it was all in secrecy. You still couldn't go to the prom with a guy that was 26 and just got out of college. You couldn't go anywhere out in public with a guy that was damn near your mama's friend. But that's who you got your attention from. Raise your hand if you've fallen victim to the athletic boy that just wanted to sleep with you to fulfill a sexual fantasy he heard about on TV or heard about from his older brother. I felt like I was put in that situation so many times, and I'm really fortunate enough that no big rumors ever got started about me, but I'm sure the streets were talking. When I was younger, I remember all of the stereotypes that were associated with plus size girls being BBWs, being girls that were easy, being girls that you could easily sleep with while you date and pretend to be a good boyfriend to the smaller girls. I knew I was worth more than that, but I can't lie and say that I didn't fall victim to it. Let's get a taste. That's too good. This is how the squash came out, looking super good and juicy. I need to shred it to make it have the noodle effect. Let's see if it is ready. Oh yeah, it's ready. What's so funny, y'all, is I actually love cooking, but I lie to men and I tell them that I don't like cooking. One, it's domestic as full, and I'm just not a full-on domestic girly. Like, I actively pray that my husband likes to cook and wants to cook for me. I'd rather do the dishes than sit and slave. But I feel like it's definitely a labor of love, and I don't mind doing it. But every single dude I meet, can you cook? Bitch, can you cook? Can you order? Can we dine out? That's what I want to know. You questioning, can I cook? Can you play for the cleaning lady? That's what I want to know. So here are the zucchini, well, the squash noodles. Let me just taste it. It's not bad. Not a typical thing that I always eat, but not bad. Now that I got my squash all shredded up, I'm gonna go ahead and feed in some of my mixture. I'm gonna make sure I mix it together too, because I want to actually have some of the noodles and not just the meat on top. I got these all mixed up. I'm gonna literally add just a smidge on the top just because this one is a little bit bigger, and maybe just a little bit on this one. I don't got no man, and if I did, this would be mine and this would be his. And then I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top and put them back in the oven and let them crisp over. Y'all, I put it on broil a little bit, and y'all know broil can get to burnt real quick, but they look delicious. Whew. It's so I can't be cooking for no man, baby. My brow is sweating. Ultimately, while of course I believe in love and I hope that love finds me, I know that I'm gonna have to keep myself well entertained in the meantime, between time, because it could feel like you're waiting forever. I'm excited to really share my life with someone, and I question, especially through my vulnerability of losing my mom, am I really ready to have somebody in my ecosystem and share life with them? And because I have spent so much time by myself, I kind of wonder sometimes, is somebody going to be able to receive me? Is somebody going to be able to understand me, you know? Recently, somebody told me that it's probably because I'm intimidating that I haven't met anyone. And while I can think that that may play a role into things, I gotta be honest and say that I do see a few, but I don't really see a lot of 500+ pound girls with boyfriends, let alone boyfriends that are attractive. But as long as they're attracted to them, because that's something, I don't have to be with somebody that's gen pop cute. It would be nice, but he definitely has to at least be cute to me. And don't get me wrong, men slide every day, but they not really talking about shit, and they kind of look like it too. So what's next? I'm gonna keep not settling for less than what I deserve. I'm gonna keep my mind open and my heart open to receiving love, and constantly reminding myself that I deserve love and real care and real connections. I promise you won't look up and I'm going out sad just for the sake to have a man. Hope you enjoyed this video, honey. Until next time, bye.